So in this one, we're going to be talking about the narcissist last-ditch effort or attempt before you leave. Because I don't think this is talked about enough. And yeah, you know, we talk a lot about what happens after you leave. But what we don't talk about enough is what happens the moments before you do actually leave and go no contact. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. We're going to be talking about what happens when a narcissist senses that you're about to leave. So if that sounds good to you, give it a thumbs up down below. And let's get into this topic together. So when the narcissist senses that you're about to leave, they're going to resort to desperate tactics to regain control. Because when they sense that you're about to leave, they feel insecure. It's a threat to their control. And so you may see them trying to love bomb you again. They may suddenly become affectionate, apologetic. They may make promises to change. And at first glance, it may sound pleasant. It may seem like it's what you want. But think about it for a moment, because you wanted this for such a long time. How many months, how many years were you hoping that the narcissist would change? That they would be who you wanted them to be? That they would be the person that they made you think that they were at the beginning? How many months, how many years did you wait just to see that? And then just as you're about to leave, it's like they can sense it. And then they bring back the love bombing. So it just reveals that the entire time, they knew exactly what you wanted all along. They knew what you wanted from them. They knew what you wanted to see. And this really proves it, because otherwise, if they didn't know what you wanted, if they didn't know what would have made you feel better, what would have made you happy, then how can they suddenly display that like they've just pulled a rabbit from out of a hat? How is that possible if they didn't know all along exactly what you wanted, exactly what you were missing in that relationship? It's because they did know. All of that time, they knew exactly what you wanted. They knew exactly why you weren't happy. They acted oblivious. They acted like they didn't understand. But they knew. Of course they knew, and that's how. When they sense that they're losing control, when they sense that you're about to leave, then they display that to you. You see that side of them again, that they withheld from you for all of that time. All of that pain and distress they put you through. And they knew exactly what you were going through, or they just didn't even care. But they knew what you wanted. They knew what you wanted to see from them. And that's why even when they do come back with a love bombing, you just got to think to yourself, all right, see, you can be disconnected from the Wi-Fi, and I'm now using my phone data. So hopefully that should improve it. The connection was quite good yesterday. when I did a video here, so I thought it would be okay today. But yeah, let's see how it goes with the phone data. But that's what they may do. When they sense that you're about to leave, they may love bomb you. They may become whatever they thought you wanted them to be all along. And it can be very confusing and very convincing. They can be very persuasive. Because narcissists, they're often very charming at the beginning. And so when they bring back the false character, it can make you believe in the illusion all over again. Especially when they apologize to you and they make these promises to change. It can make you consider staying with them. And of course, that's what it's intended to do. But also, they may hope that by love bombing you at the end, that you may go off and you may still be thinking about them. You may not be happy in the new situation. And you're going to be remembering that you had good times back when you were with them. Even though really, it was mostly bad times. And it's just right at the end that they love bombed you again. So this is how you break that cognitive dissonance, is to remember everything that happened before they love bombed you at the end. Because most of your experiences with them were not good. It was mostly bad. It's just many of us, we want to believe that they are good people. We want to see the best in them. We want to believe that they can change. We hold on to those good memories while overlooking everything that was bad. So we've got to stop doing that. We've got to remember all of the bad things that happened as well. And typically, the bad times greatly outweigh the good. The few good things that happened, was it really worth it? For everything that you had to go through? Was it really worth the price that you had to pay? Of course not. And that's why many of you find yourself in these communities watching these videos, because you weren't happy. There was a problem. You wanted it to improve. You wanted it to be better. And they know that. They knew that all along. And that's why at the end, they pull this little trick out of the bag. They love bomb you again. So that's one thing that they might do. They might return to the love bombing. But if that doesn't work, they will guilt trip you. They will make you feel like you're a bad person now for abandoning them. As though you're just leaving them without help or support. And they will even make you feel responsible for their well-being. And it's kind of funny when you think about it, because all of that time, they clearly never cared about your well-being. They never cared about everything that you were going through. And it's like they didn't even question, why do you want to leave? I mean, if they're treating you so good, if you're happy in that situation, then why would you want to leave? And that's just it. They just make it out like you're selfish. You're greedy. You're wanting too much. Or as though you're just trying to avoid responsibility in the relationship. You're just trying to run away from it all. Or they may accuse you of cheating on them. They may say that you have someone else. Well, that's not the real reason why you're trying to leave. And deep down they know it. You're leaving because of the abuse. You're leaving because you're sick and tired of being mistreated. Of all of the things that they've been doing to you. all of the lies, manipulations, the abuse, the false accusations. That's why you want to leave. But they don't want to accept that about themselves. They don't want to accept that they're just no good. They don't want to accept that they're abusive. So they cover it up with these lies, and they just blame you for abandoning them instead, as though you're selfish, as though you're the narcissist. And they may even come out and just call you a narcissist. They may accuse you of being the problem. And they will guilt trip you. They will try and make you feel guilty. They will play on your empathy, because they know that you have empathy. They know that you're going to feel bad for them. They've been exploiting your empathy for a very long time. And so that's why it's often their go-to tactic at the end of the relationship, because they know you're going to feel bad for them. They know you're the type of person who's going to overlook everything that they did to you before that. And you're just going to focus on the now. You're going to see, that you're leaving them. They're stuck now. They're left without any help, any support. And they know it's going to make you feel bad for them. And so that's why they use this tactic. They will play the victim. They will act helpless, depressed. Some of them may even threaten self-harm or suicide, especially those with borderline traits. They may act like they're going through something, and as though they need you there to help them, to rescue them. It's all just emotional manipulation. They will try anything, whatever they think works, and it can seem so believable, because in many ways, it is like a life or death situation to them. That's how it feels. Because you're no longer validating the false character. You're no longer giving them that control. So without it, they feel helpless, insecure, powerless. And they will do anything to regain that power and control over you. Even if it means that they have to act depressed, threaten self-harm, or even suicide. Whatever it takes to make you feel bad for them, to make you stay. But if that doesn't work, many of them will run a smear campaign. They will spread lies about you to damage your reputation before you get the chance to tell the truth. Because they understand the power of getting to people first. Typically, whatever people hear first, that's going to tarnish their perception of the other person. So they know the power of getting to people first. And because of the nature of their disorder, the way that they need supply, they need control, they are going to appear very powerless and helpless, especially without you there as the source of supply. So it's going to make you look bad when you pull away. And it's going to make them look like a damsel in distress. So it really works for them. Their disorder really helps them when they lose that supply to acquire enablers, flying monkeys, unsuspecting supporters of this false narrative. And the crazy thing is that even after they run a smear campaign on you, some of them will still find ways to re-enter your life, even after you've left. And they may do this by sending messages, showing up unexpectedly, or using mutual contacts. Because a narcissist, if you were a really good source of supply to them, and they know they're not going to be able to replace you, they're really going to try to enmesh themselves in your life. So they're going to make sure that they have access to all of your social medias. They're going to make sure they know where you live, they know where you work, they know where you're going to be. And they're going to try and befriend your friends, your family members. They're going to enmesh themselves in your social circle and in your family to make sure that they have ties so that they can remain a presence in your life, to keep getting supply, to keep having that control over you, to where they can use you like a toy, like their puppet. And they will even use threats and intimidation. They will try to scare you into staying with them, or just to do what they want you to do, what they want you to do. If they want you to give them money, a place to stay, whatever they want you to do for them, they will coerce you into doing it. Whether it's through the use of emotional, financial, or even physical threats, they will force you to do what they want. And they will use triangulation. They will bring in other people. They will use their exes, family members, whether yours or theirs, mutual friends, to make you jealous of their new life without you, or to make you doubt your decision, or just to keep you submissive, subservient to them, to keep you as their source of supply. So these are some of the things that they will do. These are their last-ditch efforts, their last-ditch attempts, when they sense that you're about to leave. And when all else fails, they will use a fake crisis. They will create drama, emergencies, or health scares to make you feel obligated to stay and help them. They will just make a scene out of nothing. You will especially see this among those with histrionic traits. They would turn molehills into mountains. They will exaggerate it. They will make it seem so extreme, while they minimize or just completely dismiss anything that they've put you through, anything that you're going through. That doesn't matter. It's irrelevant, insignificant. It's not a concern to them. And yet they will pick things that are so small that you supposedly did to them, or that they're having to deal with now, and they will make you responsible for it. And they will make you feel obligated to fix it. It's such a double standard when you're dealing with narcissists. And it's like, what about you? What about all of the things that you're going through? What about all of the things that they did to you? They're not there to help you. They're not taking responsibility for all of the things that they caused. And yet they're making you responsible and obligated to fix things that you're not even responsible for. Things that they caused, they created. And, you know, this is what it's like when you're dealing with a narcissist, especially a covert narcissist. They're like big babies, emotional toddlers in adult bodies who cannot take care of themselves. They cannot be adults. They cannot even take responsibility for their own lives. They dump all of the duties onto you, and they expect you to deal with it. They expect you to fix it. Things that you didn't even cause. And that's why they want to keep you trapped. That's why they will use these tactics when they sense that you're about to leave. Because they need you to stay and help them. They're helpless, powerless, incompetent individuals who just can't do anything right. And that's why they need a source of supply to help them all of the time, because they just can't even take care of themselves. And by the end of it, you can't take care of yourself because you're constantly taking care of them. And all they're doing is messing everything up. They're just destroying you. And yet they're trying to twist it around on you and make it seem like you're just this helpless, incompetent individual who can't take care of yourself. When all the time you were taking care of them. You were doing everything for them. You were doing things that you should have never done for them. You shouldn't have done a fraction of what you did for them. And they should have been doing a lot more for you. And that's why it's like instinctual. When they sense that you're about to leave, many of them, what do? They love bomb you. Because deep down they know that things aren't right. They know that they haven't been treating you the way that you deserve. They know that you're not happy. They know that you're sick and tired of putting up with all of that crap. But they never cared about you. They only ever cared about themselves. It was all about what they wanted. Never mind about you. And that is such a despicable way to treat a living human being. They need to learn to have some respect. But that is how they treated you. They put you through the ringer. They took you to the cleaners. And at the end of it, they feel no guilt or remorse. They still just think about themselves. And yet, it never even crosses their minds when nothing ever gets better for them. Why they always stay stuck? They always stay the same. It's because they don't care about anyone but themselves. They just use and abuse people. They chew you up and then they spit you out. They're completely self-centered, self-focused, worrying only about themselves. They're using you and not thinking about the effects that they're having on you. And then they're panicking. Then they're so terrified when they sense that you're about to leave. Well, maybe they should have taken better care of you. Maybe they should have shown the proper consideration and concern for you when they had the chance. But they chose not to. They chose to only care about themselves because they're greedy, selfish people. And that's why what I say for you is, when you see these tactics, when you see the love bombing, guilt tripping, playing the victim, smear campaigns, hoovering, fake crises, you don't worry about it. You don't lose any sleep over it. Because they never worried about you. They never cared about you. You remember everything that you had to go through. You remember all of the things that they put you through. All of the times that they didn't even care. You remember that. And you remember all of the things that you did for them. You sacrificed your life for them. You sacrificed your identity, your self-image, everything you had to try and make this person happy. Nothing you did was good enough. They always wanted more. All they ever did was blame you, make you responsible for things that you never should have been responsible for. And this is why they will never be happy. They will never be satisfied with anything. Just look at how they treated you. Look at everything they put you through. Look at how much you did for them and how ungrateful, how appreciative they were, and how they always just expected you to do more. You never got a thank you. You never got a genuine apology. No guilt, no remorse, no respect. Why should you have any respect for someone like that? Why should you care about them if they're going through something now? I mean, usually it's just a fake crisis, a fake emergency. Although, of course, when they lose their source of supply, it's going to be hitting them hard. Because just remember everything you were doing for them. You took care of them all of that time. Of course, it's going to be affecting them. But why should you care? And also remember, narcissists, they don't deal with stress very well. They deflect it onto someone else. They get someone else to worry for them. They dump all of the duties and responsibilities onto someone else. So typically what they're going to do is they will love bomb a new source and they will turn them into their emotional caretaker. They'll expect them to do everything for them. They'll have a new supply now. There'll be a new supply who is now their caretaker, their therapist, their personal aid again. And you may know about it, you may hear about it. You're gonna know when they've got a new source, when someone else is taking your place, because they're gonna tell you, they're gonna let you know. They're gonna want you to know that someone else is taking care of them, someone else is listening to all of their problems, someone else is paying their bills. They will tell you that. And yeah, but that new person, I can guarantee they're not even doing a fraction of what you are doing for the narcissist. And they're probably less tolerant. They're probably not willing to put up with even a fraction of the BS that you did. So don't believe everything you see. Don't believe everything you hear from them. It's never as they make it seem. They're not going to find someone else on your level ever again. They're not going to find another empath. Typically, what they do find is just another overt, grandiose narcissist. And yeah, that person may take their side. They may support them. They may villainize you as well. But they're not really happy. I mean, they're just delusional together. And they still need you. They'll probably work together to threaten and intimidate you. Because even the new source knows they can't replace you. They're never going to be as good as you. They're never going to find anyone else like you. And that's why they stay attached to you. They're always needing from you. They're always dependent on you. They just can't leave you alone. Because no one else is going to take care of them as well as you do. And they know that. That's why they're still there. That's why they're not going anywhere. Because trust and believe, of course, for narcissists are a better option somewhere. You really think, after you figure them out, after you know what you're dealing with now, you really think they're going to stick around for the scraps, the crumbs from you, when they can just get it from someone else? They stay attached to you because it's just you. They're not going to find anyone else as good as you. That's why they won't leave you alone. And even if they do find someone else to replace you, it's good. You don't have to be their source of supply anymore. Do you think it was bad being with them as long as you were with them? Imagine if it was even longer. Imagine if it was several more months or years. It could have been a lot worse. And that's just it, you know, that's how they want us to think sometimes, is that we had it so bad. It could have been a lot worse. Just imagine if it's impossible, but imagine if you were performing at an even higher level for them. You were giving even more to them, or over a longer period of time, and you lost even more. It could have been a lot worse than what it was. Especially if you stuck in it for a longer time. If you didn't leave when you did, it could have been a lot worse for you. And that's why it's so important for us. I mean, you know, to learn something from the narcissist and their lack of gratitude. And instead, we should be grateful for what we have. Yes, we may have lost a lot. We may have lost all of that time, all of that money, everything that we could have had in the future. We may have lost that, yes. But remember what you do have. Be thankful for the people closest to you. Your friends, your family, this community. Be thankful for your health. Because if you were more foolish, if you were given even more than what you already did, if you were in it for longer, you may not even have that to be grateful for. You may not even have the scraps, the crumbs that you have left. You may not even have your health. So be grateful for that. Learn from the narcissist and how pessimistic, how negative they go. And see how that affects them, how that just destroys their health, their sense of well-being. And be grateful for yours. Be grateful for everything that you have. All of the support that you have, your health. And, you know, that's just it. It's, as you continue to move on and heal from this relationship, as time goes by, you want to look back and look at all of the months or years that you spent away from them and be grateful for those experiences. Those experiences that you may never have had if you were still with that narcissist. Or if you gave them even more than what you did. You never would have gotten to experience that. It never would have been your reality. So right now, today, be grateful. If you've already left a narcissist, be grateful. If you can sit alone in a peaceful room without them constantly bickering in your ear, without them constantly being over your shoulder, be grateful for that right now. And if you've spent some time away from them already, look back. This is why it's good to take pictures, videos on your phone of all of your experiences. And then look back at maybe vacations you've had. Maybe times where you got to go hiking. Things that you never could have done while you were with a narcissist. You could even leave the home for even 5 minutes. They'd be blowing up your phone, messaging you constantly, asking you where you are when you're coming home. Or they'd always expect you to do things for them. You never have any time for yourself. You never have any energy to do anything. So again, be grateful for what you have now and look back and be grateful for the experiences that you've had after leaving the narcissist. Because this is what life is about. This is what makes life worth living, is gratitude. That's all that it is. And you can be grateful for things in every moment. And this is what the narcissist relies on, is that you're going to be so hurt after everything they put you through, everything they stripped away from you. They're hoping that you're not going to find any joy or peace in your life. But that's just it. In every moment we have a choice. We can choose to constantly think about everything we've lost, everything we went through, all of the time, energy, money that was taken away from us. We can choose to constantly think about that, and that's exactly what they want you to do. Because that's their mentality. That's how they think every day. They're constantly focused on the pursuit, or thinking about what's been done wrong to them. They're full of anger, hatred, and resentment, constantly envious of someone else. And this is why they're never happy. They're never satisfied with anything in their lives. They're never grateful. But you can be grateful right now. Happiness is a choice. You can choose to be happy. It doesn't matter what happened to you. It doesn't matter how much you've lost. Think about it like this, right? There's people out there who may have been through worse treatment. And I don't mean to invalidate anyone's experience, just hear me out. There are people out there who have been through far worse. There's people out there who have lost so much more. I thought I'd been through a lot, and I've heard some stories from my clients. I thought I lost a lot, and there's one West Hollywood director that I know. He lost around $4.5 million in a divorce with his ex-narcissist. So there's always someone who's been through more. There's always someone who's lost even more. And yet, despite that, some of those people, they still find happiness and joy in every day. So why can't we? Why can't we find happiness? Why can't we be grateful for the little things in life? Because that's just it. The ego always wants more. And yes, it's unfair. It's not good that we lost things. We lost our health, our time, our energy, our money. And I get that. And, stressing about it, worrying about it all the time, that's not going to change anything. They're not going to feel bad for you. They're not going to try and correct it. They're going to hope that you're still suffering. They're going to hope that you haven't moved on. But yeah, you have the choice to find happiness in this moment. To be grateful for the experiences that you've had after leaving them. And guess what? The most amazing thing is, your gratitude is what will then attract more to you. This is how it works. Whatever you focus on, you're going to get more of that. Because you're already attuned to it. You're going to perceive of more of it. You're going to perceive of more injustice in the world. Instead, attune to being grateful. And you will attract more of it. More good things into your life. Of course, it's also important to reflect on the things that were done to us. We need to educate ourselves. We need to understand it. That's important too. Just don't let it dominate your life. Don't let your entire life pass you by. And, to be like the narcissist. Because they want to make us like them. They want to make us full of hatred, anger, resentment. Just how they are. Instead, let's choose to find moments every day where we can be happy, where we can find joy. Focus on gratitude. But also, it can help watching these videos and educating yourself on narcissism. And it can help as well, to go into those triggers, into those emotions, and even to let yourself feel the anxiety, the depression. Of course, it helps to go through that. But you do need to be very careful, don't let it pull you into an episode of something to where it could be difficult for you to get yourself out. This is why it's best to work through this with a trained therapist or coach. But definitely it's important to feel those feelings. Feel those feelings until they no longer bother you anymore. And you may find, that by dealing with narcissists, that's the one thing that really helps you with. Narcissists are constantly provoking you, constantly triggering you, to the point where you just feel numb to it. It just doesn't even bother you anymore. And to some extent, that's good. When you're no longer triggered, you're no longer upset, you're no longer surprised. That means you're healing, you're moving on. And that's what we should all strive for. And I can tell you, when I first discovered these videos on YouTube, when I first started making my own videos and watching them back, I was so emotional. I was so upset. I was so shocked. And it really hit me. And yeah, in many ways I was more overwhelmed, more depressed. Just to accept what I was dealing with and what was done to me all that time. But then gradually those feelings subside. And you may notice it, on my journey and through making these videos, I'm no longer as emotional as I once was. I even got to the point where I could express things that were done to me in my childhood, horrific things. I've expressed them now on live video, and I'm not even that triggered by it. It doesn't even upset me that much when I used to feel so much shame. I used to feel that because those things were done to me in my childhood, that I'm just not worth anything. That's how it used to make me feel. And yeah, it just used to it made me feel like I'm just a bad person, like something is wrong with me, because those things were done to me in my childhood, or because I was tricked, I was deceived in narcissistic relationships. And of course now I know that's not true. It makes you feel that way because that's not how you are meant to be treated. You deserve better treatment, and that's why it makes you feel like something is wrong with you. So that when someone does treat you right, it's meant to feel better to you, and you're meant to feel more attracted to that. It's not because there's anything wrong with you, but that's how it can make us feel. And I was battling that for such a long time, throughout my entire life, thinking that something's wrong with me, or that I'm a bad person. It just made me feel like I'm not good enough, like I'm just not suitable for a purpose. If I'm just to be used like a toy, just something to play with. But of course I know now that that's not the truth. It's just that's what this behavior programs us to think about ourselves. And that's why it's so important for you to reprogram yourself. Practice self-love, practice self-care every day. Just do little things for yourself. that make you feel loved, make you feel cared for. And practice positive affirmations every day. Some of you who have been with me since the beginning, you may remember I did do some guided meditation videos. And looking back, they have achieved quite a few views. So I know it has been quite some time. I think it's been about 5.5 years since I did the last guided meditation video. I only did 2. But I am considering doing more guided meditations and also affirmation videos. Because, I just really want to spread the love, light and positivity to all of you, because I know you've been through so much with these narcissists and they really just bring you down. And I want to lift you up. Of course, these videos are important too. We must go through the process. We must understand what happened. We must accept it. We can't just live in denial like they do. We have to go through it. And so these videos are very important. It's what got me to where I am today, where I'm no longer as triggered as I used to be. Certain things really used to upset me. They don't as much now. Again, it's also important to have those affirmations, to meditate and practice mindfulness. So I would like to include those types of content on my channel as well, more now in the future. But yeah, let me know what you think about what I've said to you. Let's do a little Q&A. If you have any questions, let me know in the live chat. Rakester says it is a spiritual battle inside your own mind. Maybe it is. I mean, even in psychology, it does reveal that most of this, it's really just in our minds. Like everything that happens to us, we kind of tell ourselves a story about it, about what it means about ourselves. And yeah, as I mentioned, I was battling that my entire life. Thinking that I'm a bad person or that something is wrong with me. And of course now I know that that isn't true. My Heart's Caroline asks, can the narcissist actually care or can love someone? Well, narcissism exists on a spectrum. So there are those with narcissistic traits, and then others who may have narcissistic personality disorder. And for those with the disorder, from my research, they can't genuinely or authentically care about you or love you. It's only ever going to be all about themselves. They are extremely self-focused. Even when it seems like they care about you, they don't. They care about you as it pertains to them. It's superficial. Of course, those who only have narcissistic traits, yes, they can care about you and love you to some extent. Lorraine Diane says he traveled first class with me. Now he's in the cargo hold, remembering how comfortable and premium it was with me. Wow, that's incredible that you travel first class. I'm sure that's a really amazing experience. I've never actually traveled first class myself, but I have seen videos of it. And yeah, it looks very luxurious. I've only traveled business class, and you know, I do appreciate the comfortable seats and the extra leg room. But yeah, even things like that, you know, I mean, especially things like that, materialistic things, that's what narcissists are going to miss the most. Remember, they don't care about connection. So if you took good care of them, if a narcissist is flying first class with you, of course they're not going to forget that. Of course they're going to wish they could have that experience again. They will most definitely remember luxurious things, because that's what they want. That's what they live for. It's a part of their image. So of course, yeah, you know, if you're taking them on vacations, if they're living a good life with you, they're never going to forget that. And it's never going to be the same as what it was with you. Because that's just it. I mean, how many people in the world are going to take the narcissist first class? How many people have the means? And even if they do have the means, you know, why would they care that much about the narcissist? You know, to want to do that. And yet these are the things that we did for them. We took them in, we took good care of them, we loved them. They didn't appreciate it at the time, but best believe that they will appreciate it, or they will feel the loss of it once you're gone. Mimi Reese says, my ex hoped I had a heart attack, a mental breakdown, or an accident. Wife number one did unalive herself with alcohol. I honestly think that's how it is with many narcissists, is that they do just want to push you over the edge. And I talked about that in my early videos. A narcissist that I was with many years ago, she did try to nudge me to suicide, and when I did attempt to take my own life, she called it attention seeking. There was no remorse, no empathy for me. John Tracy says, a lot of people are surprised I'm not in a box 6 feet under. I'm sure many of us can relate to that. I mean, I think we're all surprised that we're not in a box 6 feet under. After what we were dealing with, I mean, many of these narcissists, they are absolute monsters. It's a miracle that we survived. But you know, that's how we've got to think about it, is, yeah, we went through a lot, but it could have been a lot worse. I Heart Caroline says, they tore you down, but we're here to show them we can get back up. Yeah, we all support each other here. They may have broke you down, but we are here to build you all back up. Because that's what we do. That's even what we try to do for them, for narcissists. Many of us, they got in with us because they played on our empathy. They played the victim. And we tried to build them up. And for many of us, when we did, they became overt. And they turned against us. They acted like they were too good for us now. But that's what we do, isn't it? You know, we build people up. We are builders. Narcissists are destroyers. They destroy. And that's why really we got to stop building them up. I know it's a difficult thing for us to do because naturally we are builders. But just think about what we're doing, you know, when we try and build them up, we are creating monsters. We're building someone up who is eventually just going to try and destroy us. It's like the narcissist could be hanging off a cliff and we could reach out our hands and lift them up. But then they will turn around and push us off the cliff. That's exactly what it's like. Live with Shine says, liked and subscribed. Blessings. Thank you. I appreciate the subscription. I'm glad you enjoy the content. I do have other content on here as well. Every day I'm uploading pre-recorded videos and short videos. So definitely check those out as well. I do spend a long time recording and editing my pre-recorded videos, although they don't get many views. But yeah, I spend hours a day just editing them. And you know, that's over 7 years of research that goes into those videos. So definitely check those out. But yeah, As you can see, I'm live up here from the condo. I wanted to do a video outside earlier today, but unfortunately, I didn't have much time. I went to get a manicure, and that took up quite a bit of the day. But who knows, hopefully I can do a video outside tomorrow. But yeah, I hope you found this video helpful. And as I mentioned about my pre-recorded videos, I do have a video premiere that will be beginning in about 8 hours. So make a note of that. And if you're new here, subscribe, click on notifications. That way you will be notified. If you'd like to show your support for my work, you can give it a thumbs up. You can also donate by going to my PayPal. It is paypal.me/Narc Survivor. I appreciate all donations, no matter how small. If you would like guidance and support on your healing journey, you're welcome to book a one-on-one coaching session with me. Just go to my website. It is narcsurvivor.co.uk. And also, I am available on Instagram. It is Narc Survivor YouTube. Follow me on there. I'm uploading content every day of my travels. So yeah, that's it for this one. Thank you all. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you soon.